Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Design Breakdown. This is episode 4, I believe, and you guys have been showing a lot of love. So, thumbs up to you guys. Today, we have AI mascots, continuity in design, the Pantone color of the rebranding, and new types of redesigns, and so much more. So, let's take a look. Alright, so the first one is the smiley face mascot era of AI and even modern day tools. So, for example, this is a C-based application called Your Crypto, Your Control. And this shows that something as complex as crypto can actually be cute, can actually be portrayed with cute mascots. Again, utilizing bright colors, some really unique rounded corners, and some really unique smiley faces really makes things a little more friendly. Another tool that cropped up was which once again puts mascots, friendly mascots at the front. They have three really cool mascots, Kimmy, Timmy, and Turi. That's their names. Now, these mascots, each of them have a role in this web design tool. One is for creating content or generating text, etc. The other is for designing, and one is for things like SEO, etc. So, every mascot on this platform sort of plays a role. One's a nerd, a geek, one's a fun guy, one's a serious guy. So, again, trying to bring more personality to a UI design with mascots. The other one is another great example is Notion AI's mascot. Now, this one is just a face and eyes. You through the eyes and the eyebrows, you can see different kinds of emotions, processes. So if it's thinking, it will kind of raise an eyebrow. If it's reading, it'll look here and there. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with this mascot. It's kind of is like a Lottie animation. So as to say, nothing crazy, nothing colorful, but it does bring a lot of character to Notion's AI, makes it feel like there's a human being helping you out in a way. They're trying to make it more personalized. Let me know in the comments if mascots in UI design is your favorite. I think if used properly and if not overdone, this is just perfect. The next one I really like is background text. Instead of having gradients in the background or illustrations in the background, you now have text in the background. As you can see on screen, there's a great example. It's called Agency Eats. That's the website. Now, again, a great way of just portraying different emotions through text, saying different things through text, and then showcasing like an image on top. This is a more subtle variation of it. As you can see, they've played all around with it. There's ingredients, food ingredients over text, stuff like that. So once again, a really cool looking website, as I said, but with the text being behind, the headings, the titles, some of the titles being behind, it kind of portrays something interesting. Now, DAO for design, for example, this is more of a freelance art director website, used text behind his body, for example, to really portray something a little more bold, kind of making the subject come alive in the front and the text being in the background. Now, this next one I could find and dribble in seconds. This is called inline images with titles or texts. So, once again, the kind of flows through just naturally, but there is inline assets or images in between. This is just a very small version. Let me show you a couple of live examples. For example, Amy, the calendar productivity app, is a perfect example of this. As you can see, it says Happy Monday. It's 12:41 a.m. with this nice little clock. Then there's this nice little weather icon. So it's trying to depict different elements, which are again you can interact with it, but really cool inline elements, interactive inline elements, so as to say, in between this text. Great example of this. This could, of course, be made even more prominent with type. I don't know about you guys, but I actually really love this trend. I would want this trend to be more prominent out there. Everyone should use it. At least in one section, just implement this. It'll just help things stand out. The next trend sort of comes into light with Framer and its latest website redesign. You guys might have seen it on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. One thing that really stood out to me, which I've also seen on websites like Apple's, is called a feature slideshow or a feature slider. Now, in most web designs, you'll see feature sections having one feature, two feature, three features. laid one on top of the other with different sections altogether. And then you can have subsections. Here, what they're doing is showcasing 5 or 6 different features in the form of this unique interactive carousel where everything plays out as videos whenever you slide over to it. So if collaborate is in focus, there'll be a little video or a GIF playing out here with same with animations, same with design. You'll see things being interacted with. So this kind of reminds me of bento grids, but a variation, a larger, more expansive variation of bento grids, which I personally really do like. Now, this is something that can easily be implemented for different websites. This is more of a good design trend that focuses on the users and not just for the sake of the design or the sake of the uniqueness they're doing it. This is actually useful. And as you can see, they've just made their website way smaller, fewer sections just because of that one nice, neat little carousel design. You'll also see this on Apple's website. If you look at any of their products, you'll see this same kind of slideshow where they're showing different kinds of features here right in the second fold or the second section that you scroll to. So all the highlighted features, all the important things are right here. Instead of it being like a longer website, they're just making it much smaller. So now, gone are the days of long, lengthy websites. We all have like really small attention spans. It really helps with that. Color of the year is here. Finally, it's called Pantone Color of the Year, as you can see. And after I accept the cookies on this website, it's called Color of the Year by Pantone. It's called Mocha Mousse 171230 if you want to know the Pantone code for this. The Mocha Mousse is actually a very interesting take on the sign of times, what's happening today. Last year it was, I think, magenta or something like that. This year it's more of a more subtle, toned down Mocha Mousse. Now, cool thing about Mocha Mousse is that we see it in everyday lives. We are now seeing it with Apple products. The titanium actually looks like Mocha Mousse under certain lighting. This does not look like Mocha Mousse, but the side kind of does. Then you have a lot of other things which are following that Mocha Mousse guidelines these days. There's more simpler packaging, more minimalism. Bringing this Mocha Mousse color into that will be really cool. Now, but for that, I want to know your opinion on the Mocha Mousse color of the year. What do you guys think about this? This is a very subjective, color of the year is very subjective. It's driven by fashion design. It's driven by interior design. It's driven by architecture. It's driven by product design, for God's sakes. This is really cool to see how the entire industry gets affected by one color of the year. I know it's going to be very subjective, but regardless, tell me in the comments. Every week we're seeing a brand design refresh these days. Recently, we saw Walmart do a complete refresh. The colors are more stark now. The blue is definitely stands out a lot in your eyes. The yellow again stands out a little more. They've not changed the brand identity as a whole, but they're bringing UI elements. So there's new icons, there's new type as well, I believe. Walmart is not the only one now. There's way more to it. We saw SanDisk being talked about in January because of their new redesign. Once again, the logo redesign looks very unique. Some people are for this, some people are against this. I really don't know personally. I think it's really unique. It's really nice. It's very futuristic. It's very driven for the future, so as to say, for their next endeavors. God knows what that is. But again, SanDisk using this, it takes elements from the previous logo as well. So good one, more or less. Talking about redesign, can we talk about Instagram's new refresh? The whole profiles section is devastating for some, but actually unique and useful for the others. For example, the profile now hosts left to right text. The F shape in design often portrays how the text should be read. Usually the titles are from left to right. They've also using this left to right here. Save space. They've kind of saved space in the profile so that they can give more space to what? The new grid. So the grid is now officially by default, and we'll stick to it. The tall cards from episode 1, if you guys remember, the tall cards comes here as well. The tall cards trend is following through because of the short form content, because of people just shooting everything in port. This sucks for photographers. This sucks for some of the brands who already have more than half of their grid laid out. They spent months laying out that nice, good looking grid. But now it's all gone because of these tall cards. So, not really a great trend. As we learned from episode 1, this really brings it full. So, once again, want to know in the comments about this. What do you think? I think it's useful because of the new trends of reels and short form content, but is it going to be viable for everyone? Does this fit their long-term goals? Are they doing this for their business objectives in design as compared to the user objectives? Alright guys, so that was it for today's video. If you have any opinions of yours on any of these design trends, the comment section is always open. I'm always replying, at least in the first 2 or 3 hours. Once again, thank you so much for all the support on this series. If you want to watch more of this series, then subscribe to the channel for sure. And also hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything. Once again, a thumbs up is all it takes to get these videos keep on coming. And that's all I ask for. I'll see you next time. Until next time, take care. God bless.